Clearly an AI couldn't be allowed to make its own decisions. Well, that's right, the man who went... It was Boss. It was Anderson after all. That's right, the man who went by SIGINT during Operation Snake Eater. Following Zero's disappearance, he's taken over command of Cypher. Well, to be precise, the AI he oversees has. The idea to have an AI act for Zero came about in '74, when the data from the mammal pod penetrated NORAD. Clearly an AI couldn't be allowed to make its own decisions. So they would take away its ability to act, and instead create a specialized system in which the AI, bound by specific rules, filters the massive amounts of data it collects before passing it on to people, subtly guiding their decision-making. A system of the people, by the people, for the people. So they began researching how to do it. DARPA apparently brought Strangelove on board to head it up, but she was forced out after a certain incident. The direction of the project and any trace of her existence was scrubbed after her departure. Before Zero lost consciousness as his condition worsened, he left instructions for Anderson, through a cutout, of course. Zero went out of his way to hide your location in order to keep you safe. This meant sacrificing his own protection. It was the only way to ensure you could stand alone as your own man. Here I am, the only link between you and the world that's passing you by. I'm your last connection now. This was Zero's last request, his will. Once you're awake, we need to discuss the best way to ensure your safety. Oh, and they've got a name for Anderson's AI project. It's called the Patriots. It's all about ensuring that the concepts driving society appears the same in the mind of each person in that society. About having that individual willingly make up part of the whole. I guess it's fitting to call that patriotism. Creating a united world. Zero's will is already fading into a shadow of what it once was. Systems, guidelines, rules, laws. Take a mentality and fix it in a solid shape. Put it out there in the hands of people.
Time doesn't stop while you use the iDroid. You can even move around while using it, but pay attention to your surroundings.
КП, понял. Усилить безопасность. Повышенная боевая готовность. Конец связи.
into decay. No mentality can last forever. Boss, it was Anderson after all. That's right, the man who went by SIGINT during Operation Snake Eater. Following Zero's disappearance, he's taken over command.
Roger.
Well, to be precise, the AI he oversees has. The idea to have an AI act for Zero came about in '74, when the data from the mammal pod penetrated NORAD. Clearly, an AI couldn't be allowed to make its own decisions. So they would take away its ability to act, and instead create a specialized system in which the AI, bound by specific rules, filters the massive amounts of data it collects before passing it on to people, subtly guiding their decision-making. A system of the people, by the people, for the people. So they began researching how to do it. DARPA apparently brought Strangelove on board to head it up. She was forced out after a certain incident. The direction of the project and any trace of her existence was scrubbed after her departure. Before Zero lost consciousness as his condition worsened, he left instructions for Anderson, through a cutout, of course. Zero went out of his way to hide your location in order to keep you safe. This meant sacrificing his own protection. It was the only way to ensure you could stand alone as your own man. Here I am. The only link between you, this Zero cutout of before Zero lost consciousness at the direction of the project and any trace of her existence, she was forced. DARPA apparently brought Strangelove on board to head it up. So they began research a system of subtly got filters and instead clearly an AI. The idea to have it, well, to be precise, the following Zero's disappearance, he's taken over command. Well, the and instead filters subtly guide assist. So they be DARPA apparently she was forced. The direction of the project and any trace of her existence was scrubbed. Before Zero lost consciousness as his condition worsened, he left instructions for Anderson through a cutout of Zero went out of his way. This meant sacrifice. It was the only way to ensure. Here I am. I'm your lad. This was Zero's. Once you're awake, we need to discuss the best way to ensure yours. Oh, and they've got a name for it's called the pay. It's all about ensuring that the concepts driving about maintain and yet having that individual will. I guess it's fitting to create. Will is already fading in systems. When you take a mentality and fix it in a solid shape, it can only begin. No mentality can. When the body dies, the will dies with it.
Cypher's been in hiding ever since his grand experiment. No one's seen him in years.
All we hear are orders delivered by proxy. Except you.
Don't move. Speak. Speak.
Target confirmed dead. Now move on to the other two.
You met with him, face to face, in order to contact Big Boss. Tell me where he is. Where is Cypher? Where is Zero? I've never known choice. Where I was born, the language I speak, I never had the freedom to choose for myself. But you, right now, are free. Do as you will.
This will save Big Boss.
It may.
Will you really kill Zero for me?
Not for you.
All right. Zero is Hell's Kitchen, 10th Avenue. He is there.
Not exactly Hyde Park.
His medical needs keep him from moving around. That is why he summoned me there. The other residents are of varying race and ages, but in reality, all 40 units are Cypher personnel. It took him 10 years to replace the original occupants. He's got places like this all over the world.
No better place to hide a needle than a stack of needles.
Zero is on the top floor. A room with no windows and no doors. Even the elevator does not reach it. Officially, the floor does not exist. The only access is by a secret staircase, one floor down. Room 702.
Shades of World War II.
Nobody realizes the entire building is a setup. People go in and out all day. But they're all Cypher. The building blends right in with the rest of the city. They disseminate rumors that, again...
That's the target. Looks like we found him.
That keeps most outsiders away. And most of them are there in case of an emergency. But even they don't know what they're protecting. Foot traffic, goods coming in and out, phone lights, water and sewage. It is all monitored remotely by satellite and cameras inside and out. Should he need it, there's a sealed-off water conduit that can be used to escape to the Hudson River, and from there to the sea. But from the outside...
So the Major believes zero suspicion equals total security. Very bold. It's just the kind of ruse I'd expect from him. So long as no one's suspicions are aroused, you could hide there forever. On the other hand, if someone figures it out, there are dozens of ways in. And he's so paranoid about information slipping out, no one involved has the full picture. That ignorance is a weakness, the downfall of a need-to-know system. The pitfalls are clear. Circumventing them will be simplicity itself.
You hate him, don't you?
Hate? He never left me to die. I owe him my life. I'm bound to repay the favor. Any way I can. But that's not what you really want to know. What you want to know is, do I hate Big Boss? I don't hate the man. I do deserve a little more of his gratitude. But he probably has no idea who I am. So you see, I have no reason to hate him at all. I mean to have my revenge against Zero. It's not petty hatred or resentment. Nothing so personal. Even the hottest lava eventually cools, becoming a mountain. And that mountain becomes the land. Scalding steam comes back down as rain, forming rivers, draining into the sea. It's then that nature's order sets in. Now I'm merely a part of that cycle. Just like Zero. And you. And Big Boss. That lava, that vent is already set as stone.
Don't you?
The choice.
Please.
Proceed.
Please.
Give her the shot already! Hold her still!
It's me.
Ocelot. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, I'll say. Took a lot longer for you to surface than I expected, Major.
I wasn't planning on coming back at all, but I had no choice.
Well, after the Caribbean.
My hunch was proven right. You wouldn't believe who was behind it.
Oh, I have an idea. How did you respond?
Immediate disinformation campaign. Most bought into the story, but not everyone. It was quite an incident, after all. I couldn't cover everything, but I did hide the fact that Snake survived. And that should buy us some time.
Where is he?
En route to an old foxhole of mine. A base in the British sovereign area of Cyprus.
The military hospital at Dikelia?
Ava's leading the operation.
Ava? Following your orders?
Funny, isn't it? That we should all reunite like this.
This is an emergency. Otherwise, I sure as hell would...
Yes, I don't expect you to bury the hatchet between us. Something simply won't ever happen. Even I can appreciate that.
Target neutralized. One remaining.
Speak with me from time to time. That's fine. But I don't want Snake to die. Surely we can come together on that. There are so few men I can turn to. And you're number one, Ocelot. Keep him hidden. Keep him safe. But I'll stay where I am. And leave the rest to you. That's how he'd want it too.
Isn't it better for you to be there to supervise?
Where I am, where he goes, it makes no difference. All that matters is getting him the very best treatment and security. The latter being where you come in. Will he wake up? And if so, when? I have absolutely no idea. But as long as his heart is beating, he will keep fighting. So please...
This location...
No one will... And if they try, the information...
which is what you'd... Guess you're still at the top of your...
Anything but. Donald's taken over a great deal. He'll be... Though I wish it weren't so. This will probably... So.
I have no choice.
Thank you.
Savior.
One more thing.
Yes.
I've prepared a...
What is it?
You could say I've...
Major?
I'm not talking... A mental... His phantom.
I don't understand.
You will when you... I've set the ball in motion, but you're good at this kind of thing.
If it's in his bed.
I assure you, it is. Look after Snake. He's the toughest son of a bitch I've ever known. Yes, it's me. You weren't in hospital long. I had trouble finding you. Where is he? Safe. But in the same state as when you last saw him. We've had our misunderstanding.
Boss, the target has already reached the objective area. Watch yourself. His bodyguards will have the area secured.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Hey, that was... Target confirmed dead. Impressive work, boss. Your objective's complete. Get yourself out of the hot zone. By chopper or by land. It's your choice. Don't hang around.
This is B-Quad. Returning to target marker. This is stand by.